You guys were considered one of the best restaurants in the United States, according to Yelp.
Yeah.
Top 100.
Not a lot changed. But then this guy came along and he does this video and then he posts it online and it goes viral.
I was not ready for that.
It was 1.6 million views.
That was you.
Yeah.
It was, that was crazy.
What's the differences between pastries?
No, the South is better.
I totally agree. I totally
I'm sorry
agree.
to say that.
Yeah. The best cannolis I ever had were in the South. Yeah.
Yes.
Scandal from Tutti Da Gio.
It's a scandal.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. Do you think people are truly missing the experience of what food has to offer?
Yes, they're missing, and some of them don't even understand. They don't understand that for some stuff, you need time. I don't care if it takes 2 minutes more, but this dish needs to come out with the flavor that I made, that I know. It's not about the money. It's about the love that I'm putting to do that dish and what you are going to taste in that dish, how much you're going to like it, That is what I want.
Welcome to the Explore NASH podcast. This episode is brought to you by Go Explore. If you are a business owner here in the Middle Tennessee area, this is a loyalty situation built for you. It's basically a stamp-based system, discount codes that all live on your phone for the consumers. And so if you're interested, go to goexplore.io. Joining me today is Giovanna and Jared, the owners of Tutti Da Gio. Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good morning. Good, thank you.
Tutti Da Gio is truly one of the best Sicilian restaurants in all of Tennessee. You have done an excellent job. Congratulations on the success that you guys have had over the last 2 years. So you opened the first concept in Hermitage in May of 2022. But before we even get to that, let's get to your journey and how you got to America.
Yes. So, it all starts with the dream. So I was born in America. And my father, he came here like an immigrant. So we're talking after the war. And
was your dad from Palermo? Or
he was
Syracuse?
from Scogliti. Okay. Scogliti is a province of Ragusa. So it's in Sicily.
Yep.
And so after that, he moved in Texas. So I was born in New Jersey. He stayed there a little bit, but after he decided to move in Texas, where I grew up for a few years. And there I think he kind of got in the business of the restaurant because he learned how to cook when he was young and all that because he was on ships, boats. So that's where he learned how to cook. And he opened...
Did he serve in the Italian military then?
Yes, okay. yes. That after the war, all the boys were called to do that. So they were all, his dad died in the war. So he was 9 years old when his dad died.
Okay.
And so after that, I think around his 12, he started going on the boats and all that. Yeah, the life was different many years ago. And so he started his first restaurant. The name was Mama Franca's Flying Pizza in Baytown, Texas. And my life was all in the restaurant. I was a little girl going around in the kitchen, going between the storage room with my Barbies, going to ask a pizza to my brother or the meatball to my father. So for a few years, that was my life. After when I was 9, he passed away and for a heart attack. And so my mother decided to go back in Sicily. And so I went back that I was almost 11 and I grew up in Sicily. But I went back thinking always about what was my life before. Because even if I was little, but I really understood a lot. And I remember going around always with my father, looking what he was doing, even at the cashiers. I was a little protector of my father. I remember just, asking many questions and all that. And so when I went back, I told myself one day, I want to go back to America and I want to continue what he was doing because he did not have the chance to finish what he started. He worked so much in his life and he did so many sacrifices, but he died, he was 51. So he could not finish what he started. So I promised myself one day I would do whatever I can to go back. So my life, I grew up in Sicily, and I got married, and I had kids, and I was a mama when I was 26, and I was kind of thinking what to do. I was already a nice cook for the family, but I never cooked for people. And my opportunity came when one day there was a priest of a convent, San Francesco di Paola. So these is a community of priestess that they live in a convent, where they were looking for a nice person, a person that they can trust and all that can cook for them. And so a friend told me, he say, you would be the perfect fit. And then so I say, ooh, I never cook for other people, but I can try. And so that's how I start learning to cook for other people. For I was talking in Italian, sorry. Outside of my family.
Okay.
And I worked.
How many priests were you cooking for?
And that moment, there were like around 5 in that moment.
Okay.
But they couldn't become like 20,
of course.
30.
Okay.
They
Depending
they
on
come
the
and
flow,
go. They come
the training and all that.
Yeah, they come and go. Yes. And so I worked there for 15 years.
Wow.
Yes, and they become like my second family. I love them so much, and I learned so much from them. Because there was an old priest, Fra Vincenzo. He was the cook of the convent for years. So he cooked for 80 people, 80 priestess, and 100 priestess. But he was old at that time. So that's why they looked for somebody else. So when I came in, he kind of, he wasn't really happy. So he was like, I think 89, something like that. But after a few weeks together, we start loving each other. So he teach me all that little secrets, or how you say, tips.
Yeah, tips. Yep.
Tips, yes, about how to do better, because I was good cooking, but he was better in the details, so I learned a lot from him.
Were you guys making your own noodles and everything?
Yes,
there
everything.
As well? Okay.
Yes, but also Sicily, where we are, Milazzo, it's all about fish. And this convent here, they can eat only fish. There are priestesses that don't eat meat because the thing of how they believe, right? So I had to come with dishes every day with only fish in different ways. So they call me in Milazzo like a professional cooking fish, because for years I only cook fish. And after that, after a few years, they start encouraging me.
Yeah, encouraging him.
Yes, to you should open your own business. You should do this because you're really good. But I never had that courage in that moment, and I wasn't really a lot supported from the family. You need a lot of money. It's not really easy to do that in Sicily. But I start working in restaurants, so I would go in the morning to the convent. And at 4:30, I would go in restaurants to do my night there, like a sous chef. Mm-hmm. So that's how I learned to be better in my skilling of cooking. So how I learned the restaurant life, because I know the cooking life, but I never knew the restaurant life. So I never went to school. I don't have no degrees in kitchen, culinary, no nothing. I just have experience watching other people and learning from my family, the jobs wherever I worked. So I always, one thing I always do is get whatever you can from that person. You like it or you don't like it, that person, but everything can teach you something. So that's what in these years teach me a lot.
What was the first restaurant that you worked for? Was it like more of a pizzeria?
It's always like fine dining, always on fish. And in Milazzo, in my town. Yeah, I never went out of my town. Okay. So because of that dream, the years, I was going...
With the fine dining, was it serving more locals, or was it very tourist heavy as well?
Well, Milazzo in the summer has a lot of tourists, so locals. That's all the business there. Yes. But we're not talking about famous person or all that. Yeah.
What's the difference between Sicilian fine dining and Italian fine dining?
Well, it's just the different culture, the different way to eat. Because even if all Italy is all, Italy, we're all the same. Yeah. But every state, every city, every town, they all cook different. So wherever
it's crazy from like Rome to Florence, just in that 3-hour span, how they cook.
It's so different. So you will find, like in Rome, you will find their traditions. In Florence, you will find their traditions. You go in Napoli, other things. In Sicily. So wherever you go, you will find the fine dining with their own traditions.
Yep.
Yeah.
What would be like an anticipated price point for fine dining in the mainland of Italy and in Sicily?
How much would it cost for somebody to go eat out?
Oh, well, let's say in Milazzo, in my town, you can also find at this moment like 80 euro a person, or even 120 euro a person. And we're talking about the high
end
fine dining.
Okay.
If you go like in a trattoria, like where many times we go, you can eat with 25, 35 euro a person.
That's not bad.
But we're talking, it's a lot of food. It's not. It's a lot of food.
Where in the mainland of Italy is your favorite place to eat?
Okay, when you say Italy, we're talking about all Italy?
Not Sicily, just Italy by itself.
Well, I like all the south. I like all the, so Rome and going down, it's my life, that they eat like I like. If you go in the north, it's good, but it's not my...
it's not her style.
My style, yes. It's not my style, yes.
So what's the difference between, and I know, but in case the audience doesn't know, what's the difference between Northern Italian food and Southern Italian food? Northern
is more mountains, so it's more, local things from there. You have a lot of cheeses.
Yep, a lot of meat.
It's great meat because, we have all the Toscana. We have all that mountains. So it's beautiful there. You will have a lot of soups. You will have a lot of vellutate. I don't know how you call that. It's like creamy things.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes, all that. South, it's more the sea. So it's all about the sea. So you have a lot of seafood, a lot of pesce azzurro. It's how you say in English, bluefish. I don't know if you call it. Okay, bluefish. So it's all about that. So we would do many things with the fish, and like fish, stuffed fish, or in the oven fish, or grill, and all that. So we like to say like the north is more healthy because the south eats more fried stuff. We put a lot of extra virgin everywhere. We use a lot of that. And so tortellini, the north is more for broth.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's the differences between pastries?
Oh, wow. No, the south is better.
I totally agree.
I'm sorry to say that.
Yeah. The best cannolis I ever had were in the south. Yeah.
First scandal from Tutti Da Gio.
It's a scandal. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But yes,
because the gelato, even the gelato is different.
It's everything from the south. Gelato, granita. What else? All the pastries.
Because like my favorite gelato was in Palermo.
Yes, and
out
that's
of the whole
where
country.
you're gonna. Yes, all in the south. The north, they do it, but it's not the same.
Okay.
So you want to know? I want to tell you some funny thing. What the old people would tell us. I remember like my grandma and all that. That whatever goes out of Sicily, it changed the flavor.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Like I remember when you talk about, in Germany they're doing the granita. And so like my uncle, it's not going to be never the same because it's not the same water. It's not. Or even for the wine, they would say that the bottle of wine, because many of our families make their own wine in Sicily. So if you want to give a gift, and because they live in another part of the world, they say that even the wine would taste different.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree. It was fascinating for me my first time going to Sicily because it was on that big boat where the trains go on the boat.
Messina.
And that was my first time being on a train on a boat.
You went from Villa to Messina.
And that was a fascinating experience. And then we did the whole train throughout Sicily. And I was in Sicily, I think, for like a week and a half.
Yes, because here you don't have a lot of trains.
No, we do not. We have Amtrak, and it's not good compared to the Italian system.
You have to be up northeast in order to benefit.
Yeah.
And Amtrak used to be in Nashville into the 1980s, and then they removed it because of politics and all of this stuff. These companies coming in buying these train lines.
One time I was trying to look how I can move, and it was just impossible. I say, why they don't have trains here? Because I can move easily to Messina, to Catania. I can go, or even to Rome. It's 7 hours with the train. Now,
is there a bullet? There's a bullet that goes from southern Italy to Rome, right?
Yeah, there's a boat.
Because that's like 2.5 hours, I believe.
A boat, you can get it at Palermo, and it will go to Genova. Yes,
he was talking about a bullet.
A bullet train.
Bullet train, fast train.
Oh, yes. Freccia Rossa. Yes. I saw it. I understood.
No, it's okay. Okay, so let's get back into your story. So you're working for fine dining. You were at the...
So I start working in restaurants, and that's how my skills got better, And so where my confidence grow a lot because of all the people that, when they're eating and they would say, it's so good, it's so fantastic, that would make me feel, maybe I'm really good. Maybe I can really do this, So I start always remembering about my dream. And I say, well, maybe Giovanna, you can do it. Because it's hard. When you grow in Sicily, you need to understand the culture is so different, especially for the girls. You grow in a different way because there's still that kind of culture where a woman can't do a lot of stuff. And now the new generations, they're more lucky. But my time, it was a little bit more harder. So if I had these crazy ideas, nobody would never support me. I was just a crazy person. What are you talking about? You can never leave your town.
Was there a lot of other women chefs in your town?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, no,
so you're one of like the only ones. Okay.
Yeah, maybe one. I met one. It's just really rare. So I work with a lot of mans. And that's another thing. I had to learn how to deal with mans in the kitchen.
Yep.
So yeah, I think I learned really good about that. I can handle.
Yeah. So you worked in these restaurants, and then you had an opportunity to come to America.
Yes. So
to cook for.
In the meantime, I got divorced, and so finally I have to go through all that, culture, family stuff, and fight for my freedom. Let's say that I had to fight and for the things that I believe. And for the things that I did not like. So I kind of was a rebellion of the town. So everybody will watch me in that way. Like she's just crazy. She just no. So I say, okay, I told my kids, okay, now it's my moment. And I want to see if I can really do what I thought in all these years. Even when I was a little kid, 11, I always dreamed to do this. So I was on Facebook, and there was a friend of mine that he already was living in Salt Lake City. And sometimes we were chatting there on Messenger, and he told me, you should try. You should come here where I work. He's looking for good chefs, Italian chefs, and he's a good person, and blah blah blah. And I say, wow, Utah, I don't know. I don't know nobody there, because I was thinking to go in New Jersey. I still have some cousins there. Yep. And I say, I was feeling better to go. That at least I know somebody. But he really, convinced me. So I talked with this owner of these restaurants. At that time, it was Sicilian Mia in Salt Lake City. So I talked with him, and he said, yeah, come over. I need chefs, and so you can have a job. And that's all. And so I told my kids, I'm going to try it. And if nothing works good, I always can come back. Give me just 3 months of try, 3-4 months of try. And that's what I did. So I started looking for a room close to the restaurant where he told me that I would work, and it was Farmington. So I looked, and there was a family that they were renting rooms, and with Messenger, we did a video call because, people don't know me. I don't know them. And that's how it started. I came here. I went to this family that I didn't know nothing. I remember the first thing, by the way, Joycey, I love you. But I remember this big house, even if I was little, but my memories were so different, 40 years after the America changed. Mm-hmm. So this big house, and they don't lock the door. And so for us in Sicily, we lock everything.
Yeah.
Heavy deadbolts.
When I arrived in Palermo, it was midnight at the train station. And I was like, wow, this is a interesting cultural experience. And it was a English bed and breakfast that was down the road from the train station about a mile. So we were walking, it was midnight, and I'm like, wow, this is a situation where I wish I had a fire on.
Yes.
So I knocked on this door of this bed and breakfast, and it was sketchy, full of deadbolts everywhere.
Yeah.
This guy comes down. It's this old building that's 250 years old, and you're like, what's happening? And then you walk in, and it's just this gorgeous lobby, but on the facade of the building, it just looks like this sketchy rundown thing.
Yes.
And he's like, and I'm like, oh, I know why you're doing this. You don't want to get robbed.
Yeah. So, I'm coming from there where you always need to be careful, never leave the door open. And I remember the first night I saw that they did not lock that door. So my room was on the first floor and the door of the room was facing the door of the house.
Yep.
I could not sleep that night. I say, oh my gosh, somebody's going to come in. Somebody. Now Giovanna leaves the door open. I just want to let you know. I just go away and leave my door open. But that was my first, impact here in America. So
this is probably what, 2018?
I came right before COVID, 2019.
Okay.
2019. It was March 2019.
Were you in America for most of the pandemic, or
yes,
were you able to get back to?
No, I was here. I was not able to go back. I was trying to go back, but I was not able to go back because one, they would not let you go in for the vaccines. And second, I was missing an Italian passport because in all my years of my life, my mother never thought to make me an Italian passport because I I never really traveled a lot. I have only the American one. Okay. So when I came here, I came with the American passport, never thinking that an Italian one would be one that I was going to need in my life. Well, for the COVID, that was one of the requirements. Okay. Without that, you could not go back. So.
Yeah. We had some friends that were stuck in Italy for like 5 weeks after the shutdowns and everything. Yeah. So when did you guys meet?
We start meeting in 2019, so around July, because I was working. So I was working in Salt Lake City, and I was how chatting online, these datings online. And here in America is all this freedom of doing all this. In Sicily is kind of a taboo and still, what are you doing? And so here I was more free to do that. So I learned how to do this dating online, and I was just chatting with different persons, and one of that was him. So, it was him. I was chatting with different ones, and so we start becoming friends because with him, we did not talk about like dating or meeting, or we just start talking about our lives. So we start becoming friends. And that was around June, July, something like that. Yes.
Well, I believe it was the day before you hopped back on a plane to go back to Sicily.
Because I was going back to Sicily because my daughter was ready to have the babies. She has twins. Oh, wow. So I had to go. So that was my date line. How you say that? Yep. Because I came here in March. I told my kids, let me see how it works. I have to be back before the babies are born. So I will do this. I will give me this chance. So I went back for the babies, and I went back with good news because I really liked here. I liked how the restaurant life is, and for me, it was really easy because coming from Italian's restaurant, we work so different. It's a different way of cooking. It's a different way of serving people. Italians, we don't eat in 20 minutes and go away.
Oh, it's 5 or 6 hours. Yeah.
So you start with an appetizer, and after, 30, 40 minutes, your primo comes out, and after your secondo, and if you want fruit, and if you want dessert. So it's a minimum of 2-3 hours when the people come to the restaurant. And the kitchens, we close the kitchens at midnight. Okay. We don't close kitchens at 9. That's a dream for all my Italian friends. Yeah. We close the kitchen at midnight. So you can have that person coming in at 11:58.
And you're still serving for 2 hours. Yeah.
So I came from that kind of restaurant, and where we do a lot of labor with our hands. We do a lot of dishes or making things like that. Arancino, we do everything with our hands, or like stuffed fish or whatever. Braciolettine. Did you try the braciole? Did you know what
Not when we were filming with you guys, but I've had it before. Yes.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm saying the braciole. It's all.
Yep.
It's so many things with your hands that takes time. Also, like cleaning all the fish, you have to clean the mussels. You have to clean the calamari.
Scaling. And
yeah. It's we don't have frozen stuff coming in. You know, it's all fresh. So coming here, it was really, really easy for me. So in Salt Lake City, I say, wow, I can serve 200, 300 people in like this.
Yep.
So it was really easy for me. So,
what do you think? How to word this? With the American dining experience of 20-minute turnovers, fast table turnovers, do you think people are truly missing the experience of what food has to offer?
They're missing, and some of them don't even understand.
Yes.
So because they're too much used of this fast things, they don't understand that for some stuff, you need time.
Yeah.
Like for me, each dish of pasta, I don't have pre-made things. And it takes at least, we did the math, at least 10 minutes for one dish because you need to cook the pasta, you need, put together the sauce, whatever they decide. If they decide like a salmon pasta, you need to do the saute. It has steps by steps, and it takes 10 minutes. I can maybe do it in 8, but I like to be more. I'm a detailed person, so
you would probably rather have flavor than.
Oh no, I want flavor. Yeah. All the other ones that I'm training is because they are really fast, but they miss the details. They miss the flavor. So what I always teach them, I don't care if it takes 2 minutes more, but this dish needs to come out with the flavor that I made, that I know. So you need to give time to the dish to continue cooking. The pasta needs to be sauteed with the sauce and all that. That's how the pasta will get that better flavor. If you just put together things like a robot, you're not going to have the same flavor. And one day with the person that worked with us, I say, I'm going to challenge you. You do the same dish that I'm teaching you, and I will do it. Mine is different because I will give the time step by step for each ingredient to take out the flavor. It's really important. And that's why some people don't understand. They think about us like we are a fast food. It's not a fast food.
No.
Even if we're a counter service, even if we know we're not a fine dining, but it's also fresh things made in that moment. So you need to have that patience to wait for your food and to understand that. So that frustrates me sometimes. Yeah. Or when people, they write a review, the pasta is chewy or is not cooked. It's al dente. So what's al dente is the best way to eat the pasta. And that's because people don't know. When you eat it, overcook it, I know it's soft, you just can swallow it, but it's not good for your digestion. So it will not be good. Al dente is so much better for you because you have to chew it, and it will be better for your digestion. So everything, there's a reason for everything. And of course, Italians, we eat al dente.
Yeah, of course.
In the fresh pasta that we make, even if you dried it out and then you cooked it, it would have a different texture and a different experience than it going from a state of being fresh, not dried out pasta to being cooked.
The texture is so different of the fresh pasta, and some people don't understand that.
What's your what's the word for it? The amount of water in your noodles. So have you guys done that math?
Yes.
The hydration.
Yes. Depends on sometimes we need to put a little bit more if outside is dry. Yes. Yep. But there is a mix of semolina, and water.
Yep.
I don't put eggs in my pasta because for people that can have allergies.
Yeah, of course. So let's get back to your story. You guys met. You went to Sicily to meet the babies, and hopefully that experience was amazing.
So in the meantime, I was talking with him and with the other ones. Yeah. So I stayed in Italy almost 3 months. I think it was. Yeah. So I came back in Utah. At the end of September, I think, something like that. I don't remember exactly. And I start again my life. I was a head chef in that restaurant. So I will open the restaurant and I will close the restaurant. Yep. That's the life that I love. Even if you do 14 hours, and people say, how you do that? If you love something, you do it. that's it. That is, you have to love what you do.
So was that restaurant more Italian focused or was it Sicilian focused?
No, Italian focused.
Okay.
That was, yeah. I decided to do a Sicilian one.
What brought you guys to Nashville? Were you in Salt Lake City at that time, or were you in Nashville?
No. So we continued talking, and around December, I got a boyfriend, and I decided to tell my best friend that finally I found a boyfriend, and I was maybe thinking, to be a little bit more seriously. And he answered to me, my best friend, saying, "You can't." And I say, "Why I can't?" Because I think we need to meet in person, because I think there can be more, and we can love each other. I say, "Why are you saying this to me now?" He was ruining all my plans. I was.
That's what I do.
So yeah, he came in Salt Lake City for my birthday in January, and we met in person. That was one of the most bad days of my life, because he decided to come, and I had also a boyfriend, so I was feeling really uncomfortable in all this.
It was fantastic.
So I had to tell my boyfriend that he's my best friend, but after a week I broke with that person, because meeting him, something, the química, como se dice?
The spark.
Chemistry.
Yeah, something happened. Okay. And the boyfriend said, "Are you sure you were best friends? Because I saw something between you two and you're watching yourself."
Yeah.
And so that's how it started. And COVID hit. And I decided the restaurants went down, everything, got closed and all that. So I told my son, I say, "Okay, you know what? I think it's time that we have to go back in Europe, because, everybody got scared. We don't know what was going to happen."
Yep.
It was around February, I think. So I decided to start selling my car and everything. I say, I have to go back. And my daughters are over there. I want to be there. And I told him, so it was not working, because if I go back, it's not going to work. But I decided, I say, before I go away, I want to come and say hi to you. I want to see you the last time and say hi. So I came in Tennessee around April, I think.
It was the end of April, beginning of May.
Yeah, because I decided to go back the first week of May in Italy. And so, because at that time, if you go back, that you want to go back, I could go with my other documents, but not coming back anymore. So I decided to go back, and I came here for 5 days like a best friend, because nothing. I just stopped after he came that day, and you stayed 3 days.
I was there 5 days.
5 days, yeah. After he came, and I broke with the other one, and he confused me a lot, and COVID hit. I was kind of, and I just say, you know what? I'm done. I'm done chatting. I'm done with the mans. That's all. And I told my best friend, I call her and I say, look, how it went, no, basta. I'm done. I'm going to come back. COVID hit. I need to be close to my kids. No more mans, no more. I just want to be a grandmother. And I was really serious. And I told her, I say, stop. I'm not chatting anymore. It's too much for me. So I decided to come to say hi to him for the last time, because I would never come back. I already knew my plan B. I would never come back. After that, I would just try to do something else. Mm-hmm. And I came here, and once he came to the airport, yes, and I hugged him, I just felt that he was the right person. Mm-hmm. So in that 5 days that I was here, we talked and everything, and I went away like a girlfriend. He gave me a ring, and so things changed in 5 days.
Yeah.
I came back in Utah.
That's a great story.
Yeah, I came back in Utah, and I told my son we're staying here. And so I changed planes again.
Yeah.
And my best friend, she called me because I posted a picture of me at the airport with the ring. Uh-huh. And I don't remember what I said on that post, but she called me and she said, Giovanna, maybe I did not understood what you told me a few days ago. But didn't you say no more mans, nothing? And I say, yeah. And now you're getting married? Something like that. So it was really funny, that
That's
part.
funny. Jared, what's your background? Were you in the restaurant world or?
No.
Okay.
Oh, no.
I'm IT.
Okay.
No, he's totally.
IT all the way.
So more on like the hardware side of things, software side of things.
It's system administration,
Okay.
engineering, DevOps.
Yep.
So that's what I do, and that's what I was doing at the time that we met. I had been dating online, and I was actually actively dating online with people in the Slavic nations and stuff. But a buddy of mine told me about this app that I should try, so I tried it and wasn't really thrilled with it. And then
that's where you met me.
Up or swipe right or whatever.
Yeah.
It was.
I don't remember that. I just want to tell you, I don't remember that.
She swiped up on me.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, I'll swipe on her. So we started chatting, and I had been in a long-term relationship, married for 20 years. I was not looking for, I was not really all that excited about the whole going back to the dating life at all. And so I wanted to build a friendship with somebody. I did not want to make the same mistakes that I had made before.
And that's what he did.
And so we became friends. She was trying to move out of this one bedroom that she was renting into an apartment.
Yes.
And had no idea how to do that in America. Plus, she wasn't even in America. She was in Sicily while this was
I was trying to because I left my son here. I left Vincenzo here.
Yep.
I called the utilities and the apartment complex, and I kind of helped get everything arranged. I was here in Nashville.
Okay.
But I helped get everything arranged remotely. She ended up in the hospital for something, and I knew when we started talking that she was a woman that that was not like a lot of women that I had met. Whether that was going to be anything real or not, you're chatting online. Who knows? But I told her if she needed somebody, I'd fly out to Italy to meet her. And be there to help support her. And she was all drugged up. So, she.
No, I was surprised because I say, wow, this man told me, because I was in the hospital. I had to have a surgery, emergency surgery. And this man is telling me, if you need, I will fly there. I say, wow, who is that man that really would do that? And I knew that he was really seriously. So that, how you say, have an impact on me,
But yeah, so apparently her family was playing a game with her, put together this collage of pictures of the men that she had been chatting with online, made her, they all voted on
the
who.
Yeah.
And it was me.
That's funny.
I have a picture. I still have a picture with these. There were 4 faces, on WhatsApp, and there's X's on the other ones, and there was just him. And after a few months, my cousin, she sent me that back when we got married, and she said, "I knew that months ago."
That's funny. Okay, so let's fast forward to 2022.
Yes.
You guys are trying to open a restaurant. And you found out when you're trying to open a restaurant because you wanted to start with a food truck, if I was correct.
Yes. So when I moved here, he knew about my dream, right? So, and he decided, he said, you need your own restaurant. Because I work for somebody here in Nashville. When I went around, because, when you're a chef and you know how to cook and all that, you're just curious. So I went around some of these Italian restaurants here in Nashville.
And to be honest, multiple years ago, it was a terrible scene.
There was
terrible.
really nothing.
Like Coco's, and that's very Americanized.
Yeah, yes.
That was really the only. Il Forno existed for a couple years prior. But
it wasn't still, still wasn't open.
It was a food truck.
It was a food truck. Yeah.
Fantastic pizza.
We met him at that time. Yes. So there wasn't really a lot. I remember, I don't know where that is, but I remember outside we were walking and I saw Sicilian pizza.
Downtown.
I was so.
Yeah.
I say, wow.
It was in Hermitage.
Oh, the
Hermitage.
it's Hermitage in downtown. So
yeah.
Depending on the story, if you want to get into
We've
it.
actually tried both of them.
No, but we were in downtown, and I say, look, Vincenzo, I told my son, a Sicilian pizzeria. I was so happy going in. I say, finally. And when I saw they were not Sicilian.
No.
and I said, okay. So, I went around, and when I understood that we can do really more, me and my son, and so he knew that. He said, you should really have your restaurant. But we did not have the money to make it in that moment.
Okay.
So here, because there is really this big culture of the food trucks, I like that idea. I say, yes, let's do that. It doesn't cost a lot. And so we can make that one work in the meantime.
Are food trucks a popular thing in Italy? Because I don't remember really seeing them when I was there.
It's becoming now. You will have somebody, but it's not like here.
Okay.
It's not like here. Yeah. So we bought one from China. I chose how I want it. It's an Airstream. It's in my yard in 2.5 years. It's an Airstream one. It's really cute. And you need a kitchen to do the food truck, So that's how Hermitage got rented to become the, how you say? Commissary kitchen.
Yep.
But because of COVID, we were still, even if it was, we ordered that in 2021. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we were still under these problems of shipping stuff.
Yep.
So this food trailer, it took so long to come in, and we were already paying rent and all that. And so for me, I was just losing time to make my dream happen. Mm-hmm. I was just losing time. So I say, you know what? We're going to change this place here in a little takeout like we do in Sicily. Because you went in Sicily. I love it. There is a lot of these little things. Yeah. We don't really have a lot of big, nice restaurants. Yeah.
That's all over Italy, like in Rome, everywhere.
Yeah. And also you have all the tables outside with tablecloths. You just eat in the street or on the sidewalk. So for me, it's not really a bad thing to do it. It was a little bit strange for some Americans when they understood what I was going to do, especially in that spot where we are. I remember one of our first review, it was, you can't believe it. It's a little jam beside a dumpster.
There's a between a dive
shooters
bar and
I just laughed because it's true. It is. Yeah. But so what is the problem? And that's how Hermitage started, because we still did not have the food trailer coming in. So I ordered an oven from that time was Piombo Forno. They are Italians. They're from California. They make the ovens here. So he was the fastest one that can give us an oven really fast. And they were nice people also, I want to say. Nice people to work with. And that's how Hermitage opened on the 31st of May, 2022. We opened, I told my son, I say, look, nobody knows us. So don't be, sad if nobody's going to come in. You have to be ready that it's going to take time before people is going to know us. And also we are in a place that not really easy to see. So I just want that, because he's a good worker. Vincenzo is really good in making pizza and all that. And he puts a lot of love in everything. So I did not want to, to make him sad. I want that
him to have his hopes real high.
I want that he believes in what he is. I don't want that he gives up only because people doesn't come in and all that. But I was wrong.
In the first year and a half, you guys were considered one of the best restaurants in the United States, according to Yelp.
Yes.
Top 100. How did that radically change your business?
Oh, well, I was not expecting that. I was not ready for that. Like I told you, I was ready to go slow, just
build.
So we got the review, or we got ranked in Nashville. It's the best restaurant in Nashville. By Yelp in 2023. And
best new restaurant in Nashville.
That was the best
restaurant. Okay.
Best place to eat. Best place to eat.
And not a lot changed.
Okay.
The winter came. Things slowed down.
Of course.
We got a little bit more business from that. Then out came the article about us being ranked 31st in the nation. and business ramped up some. But then this guy came along and he does this video. I see him as I'm getting out of my truck. He's there at one of our tables doing this video of some food, talking. I just walk in, I make a comment out. There's probably some influencer guy out there making a video. And then he posts it online and it goes viral. And next thing we know, our business is through the...
And who is that guy? Who is that guy?
It was 1.6 million views.
That was you.
Yeah.
It was, that was crazy.
I remember I was in Italy, and Vincenzo and all, the workers. It's a little spot, Hermitage. We really can't handle a lot. And they were just telling me, we're dying. I say, what happened?
It was crushing in a fantastic way, but
also from an operator standpoint, you're like, I don't know if we can fulfill.
How do you? We have this little hodgepodge put together place with a little hodgepodge walk-in refrigerator that runs off of this, refrigeration unit. Everything is hodgepodge. I mean, we put that whole thing together on a shoestring budget. It was just supposed to be a kitchen for a commissary.
For a commissary.
Yes.
How we couldn't even store enough food in the fridge to handle the volume of people.
Yes.
And we were like, are we just gonna sell out of food and not be able to open the next day? So we're
emergency orders every single day.
Buying,
Yeah, it was crazy. After that video was crazy. Yes. And so I came back, and I think for 2 months we were still really.
I talked to over 100 people. They texted me and they said, "Why is it a 3-hour wait for this restaurant?"
Oh my gosh!
And I'm like, that's what happens when the food is amazing quality and the video does well.
Remember, also, Hermitage is a little spot.
Oh yeah,
I have 6 burners.
Okay.
And we would do like 500 pastas.
Wow.
6 burners.
And 500 pastas in a day.
Yeah. So it's a lot for 6.
And a 10-minute turnaround time.
It's a lot.
Wow.
Even if I was fast, it's a lot. So we were really, we were happy.
Yeah.
But we can't make happy everybody.
Of course.
Even for the dough. Vincenzo would say, how many am I going to make for tomorrow? Because he makes his dough the day before, 24 hours. Of how you say,
so you have to kind of just
race. Yes.
Yep.
So he will talk to me, and I have to decide the numbers. I don't know how many you can make 300, and we can't go more. Where are going to put it? It's not going to fit in the walk-in cooler. So it was really, really fantastic.
At that peak, when things were getting crushed, we'd have 3 people in the pizzeria section, in this little spot in front of this blazing oven.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Working around each other, doing this and stuff, trying to open the dough, put the toppings on, get it put in, cut it.
But I have to say, I have a great team. Because I will really, how you say, sfidare, bet on whoever can work that numbers in that place. With all us, we were just like robot. Everybody know how to move. Everybody, because it's hard to move in a little spot and be fast.
So, I'm thank you for telling me that success story. That's awesome. So. And then you guys decide to open. Was the intention to always open a bigger spot?
Not that soon. I have to say.
Okay, because you guys opened 2 locations basically.
Yeah, it was
2 years.
Yeah. So because the volume of the customers, because we, everybody was so happy, and outside, yes, we have a few tables, but it's not really, the winter we can't do nothing for that. So we need a bigger space. We need to give people the opportunity to sit down. But I was not thinking like a fine dining. I would never do. I'm not that kind of chef, and I always say this.
I think your quality is a fine dining experience. Your price point is extremely fair.
Yeah, but also how we do that. The fine dining is more fancy. Yeah. I don't do fancy plates. I do plates that you will love to eat.
And you're gonna come back for.
Yeah, that, and you will eat a lot. It's not like 2, 3, usually you like ravioli, 3 ravioli, 2 flowers. I don't. As no, even if I work for people and I had to do that, I never like it. I'm a trattoria person, because in Italy, trattoria is a place where, in the past, it's a trattoria where the truckers, they would stop and, between where they were going, stop and eat. And there was this like grandmother that would change her living room in a sitting room. And so whatever she would cook that day, she would sell it. She will sell it. And that's how they start the trattoria.
What were you about to say, Jared?
Well, I think I lost track of what I was about to say.
Talking about the Hendersonville location.
So Giovanna, she plates the food and she wants it to be presented.
Of course.
Yes.
But she's not looking for that little slice of fish with a drizzle perfectly over it.
Balsamic glaze.
And then charging you $50 for that.
They're beautiful, but it's not mine.
It's her goal when we started. And we discussed this a lot because I knew the quality of the food she was going to offer is fine dining quality.
Oh, absolutely.
Food.
Absolutely.
But she said, I don't want only, the top 1%, 2%, 3% of Nashville to be able to eat it. She wants all of Nashville to be able to eat it. And so finding that way that we can provide home cooked Italian, authentic Sicilian food that's accessible to everybody was her goal. And I think she nailed it.
Oh, hands down.
I think she did it fantastically well. Yeah. And that first location
I told the boys after we filmed last week, we have a YouTube video coming out on Tutti Da Gio soon, Instagram video soon. Depending on when this episode comes out. This episode may not come out for 3 weeks, but I said to the boys once I said that's truly one of the top 3 restaurants in the state of Tennessee. And we've eaten at a lot of places.
I know, I see you.
148 places we featured last year in 2024, and you guys truly have one of the best products in the entire state.
Thank you. But it's just putting what you learn in your life, making it, because for me it's easy. Do a pasta aglio olio, spaghetti aglio. It's the easy thing to do. It's how much love you put in things, how much you care about that plate. It's not about for me, of course, I need the money. Of course, I had a lot of debts, guys, so I need the money. Yes, but it's not about the money. It's about the love that I'm putting to do that dish and what you are going to taste in that dish, how much you're going to like it, That is what I want. That is what I want.
So let's get back to the Hendersonville location. If you don't mind me asking, why did you guys choose that location? Was it based on availability, or was it based on, were you seeing a lot of people coming in from that part of town to come to the Hermitage location?
So how how you see about Hermitage. When I first saw that place, I saw it online. So I called that real estate that she was the one, And when I told her what I'm going to do, and the person say, no, this is not a place for you. This is not a place for Italian restaurant. I don't want you in this creepy place. And I say, look.
They do it all the time.
This is what I want. I look for places. I'm not looking for fame or, become famous or all that. No. Or visibility, you say? I'm not looking for that. I don't care. I can also cook in my house. I don't care where I'm cooking. So Hermitage, for me, I love that place. I really love that place. And Hendersonville, why? I was looking for a place where there is nothing there. Where, say downtown, of course, everything is in downtown. I don't want to be in downtown. Why I have to be in downtown? No, I want to go in places where people don't really have a lot. So we got a chance to see Hendersonville. They told me it's a place that's growing and all that. And this place was coming to be free in a few months because there was Half Batch Brewery. Half Batch was there.
Okay, was that their kitchen at that time?
That was
their brewery. It's not a kitchen. Yes.
They moved over.
They built a
yes.
Yep. Okay.
So we went there. We saw it when they were still working, and I saw the potential of that place. I remember when I saw, even if he was with that big things of beer and all that, I saw how I could change that place for what I want.
Yep.
So that's why I decided that place.
Okay.
I saw other places.
Which is like I love the open counter concept where you can see into the kitchen, see the oven. I love the seating arrangement. Like I think it's very well done.
I want that people see everything. You know, I want that they see that we really
the glass window in between the divider, the wall divider. Yep.
Yes, they have to be able to see that we do the dishes in that moment. There's not like something that you just pre-cook and warm up. No, we in the pizza, I want that people understand that it takes 3 minutes before he open it. He, it has to cook and all that. So it's art.
Yep. Oh yeah.
The food is art.
What's been the most difficult thing operating? Because the Hermitage is closed during the recording of this. It's going to be reopened after the release. It's going to reopen
the 4th.
But what's been the hardest or most difficult thing operating a restaurant?
The hardest thing.
Finding talent that's committed.
Oh yes, that's you say a good one. Yes, I really have problems to find professional people.
Okay,
we think we found that right team again, but we really struggled. I mean, you'd hire somebody and
they'd work for 2 weeks, and
they'd work for 2 weeks and they'd disappear. They wouldn't even show up after the interview.
Yeah, that's true.
You'd hire somebody and they'd talk a great game, and then they come in and you're like, this person doesn't.
Yeah,
they don't live up to the skill that they
said.
Yeah,
in their resume.
Yep.
You see chef, whatever, all that. Okay. And after, you spend 2 weeks training them.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wasting my time.
Yeah.
And they still don't understand how to cook a tagliatella. So if you're a chef, you don't need to train.
Yeah.
When I came in America, I need only 2 days of training just to understand
the menu. Yep, of course.
That's all. I don't need nobody to tell me how to cook a pasta or how to cook other stuff.
Yeah.
I just need to understand how that restaurant was working.
Mm-hmm.
But after 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I spent also 1 month with somebody, and they would just go away without, or they don't do progress. It's really hard.
Mm-hmm. Or they'd complain about having to help with the prep when they first come in, or cleaning up afterwards.
Or cleaning up.
Yeah.
We have an open kitchen. It has to be clean.
Oh, you guys have to be spotless. Yeah. Especially with making the pasta that you guys
But every person cleans their own station.
Mm-hmm.
And that's part of, I think, all the world is. If you're a chef, So chef, I think they have different ideas.
What I learned from my family, because we cook big Italian Christmas dinners and like these huge things, always clean while you're going.
Yeah. That's really good to do.
Yeah.
Once you're preparing, you go and clean the one. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying, I think there is a strange idea around the chef lives. Of course, now if we're talking about Michelin restaurants, it's all a different thing. But if you're a cook, because I call them cook, everybody says chefs, but there's a
big difference.
There's a big difference. But let's say chef. You have to keep clean your station, your kitchen. That's yours in that moment. So after you go away, you need to take care of your food. Put it back, whatever, go to see what you need for tomorrow. These are all things part of your job. And after clean up, that's your part. It's not the part of another person. So I try to teach them this, but some people don't like that. Some people say, I'm just paid to, put together the pasta. I don't like that.
What as operators, are you now full time within the restaurant? Or are you still doing your IT job?
Okay. I do my IT. Yeah, that's my life.
He cannot be in the restaurant. You understand that?
Yeah. So as an operator, how are you guys defining success within your restaurant?
How? I think it's because I'm still the chef, maybe. Because me and Vincenzo, we still put ourselves there. Even if we have people around, even if I pay other people's, I will go around and do things that the other one are not doing. So I think because there is still the care of what I start. I'm not like other, how you call it? Come si dice? Oh my God, honors, or let's say honors. I saw this in America. Many people, they're just investing, it's just a money thing. So they set up a restaurant, they're investing.
But they're not in the day-to-day.
It's different. They are outside of the restaurant. They're just trying to make money, make it work and all.
Yep.
For me and my son, it's different. This is our life.
Mm-hmm.
We go there in the morning. Vincenzo will be there at 8:30 in the morning. We go away like 11 or 12 in the night.
Yep.
It's our life. So I think that's a big part of it.
Mm-hmm.
So even if I have employees, I'm trying to training and I will go around. You will see me also going in the bathrooms. So if I have to clean the bathrooms, I will. Or dishes. I will do everything. And so I think that's a big part of it.
So with your experience and everything that you've done with food, what's been an American dish that has surprised you and that you enjoy?
An American one?
Yeah.
I like the chicken.
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken.
I really like the fried chicken here. Yes. And I have to say, maybe that's all that I really like American.
Yeah.
It's a fried chicken.
Do you have a
Popeyes?
Okay.
I like
Popeyes.
yes.
Great. Yeah, Popeyes is great.
I like Popeyes.
Yeah.
I tried the other ones, but KFC, it's too spicy. I don't know. Even if you say mild, it's always spicy. I don't know why. I like the one that was here, but I think he opened back. Arnold.
Yeah, he's going to be opening a chicken place.
Yes,
yeah,
I like
soon.
that place.
Yep.
I remember when I went there, the fried tomato, green tomatoes.
Fried green tomatoes.
Oh, that was good. Yeah. And also, so I used to go I never go to Italian restaurants, okay?
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
You will not see me there.
Yeah.
Or only if they're friends. I will go because of friends and all that.
Yep.
But just going to decide to eat there, no. I will go to different places, like different cultures. I really like the Turkish one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Edessa.
Yeah.
I love
Which was just ranked one of the best restaurants in the city too.
Yeah.
I really like them.
I haven't been there yet, but we're supposed to be filming there soon.
And there is also a lady that I like. I don't know if you know this one. You maybe don't know her. It's a place kind of more worse of Hermitage.
Okay.
Let's say
there's a lot of places like
Awash Ethiopian.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you know that one?
I've never been. No.
She said just her. It's just her. And I think there are 3 tables.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. Yeah, we'll have to check it out.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. We go there sometimes. She knows us and we're friends. I love it. And she makes this Ethiopian food. It's fantastic.
Are you a fan of like French cuisine? Are you a fan of...
No, not French.
Okay.
No, not French.
Which,
so I'm
Italian
I'm
food.
sorry, I'm picky.
No, it's okay. Are you a fan of any type of like Asian type foods? Okay.
No.
So what Giovanna, if it is heavy with sauce,
she
doesn't like it.
Like here.
That makes sense.
You
and
people
I
here,
love it.
you do the
everything with sauce.
Here you're really good. I like the meat, the steak houses. I like that too. Yeah. But why they have
Texas
to put
Roadhouse
all that sauce and all that seasons and why? You cover the flavor of the meat that's beautiful. Yeah. So I will ask.
Well, the question is that meat actually beautiful, or is it getting processed in China and shipped
I don't know that, but when we go, I ask no seasons. I don't want no gravy. I don't want no sauce. I just want to grill it. That's all. I'm really simple in my eating. I'm really simple.
If somebody has never experienced Tutti Da Gio, how would you walk them through the menu and like say, hey, like. They have a $100 budget and they're like, hey, I want to try this for my family.
Yeah.
Walk us through like a menu experience for those individuals.
Yes. So the first thing I will ask you is, are you more a fish person or a meat person? That's really important because I will go more to offer you things of fish. In my menu in this moment, so if somebody it happens for caterings, I talk with a lot of people with my caterings. I would just tell you, we start with an appetizer. So I would suggest you to start with a beautiful caprese, and you can do an arancino. So we also do the mini arancino, like for parties, we can do the little ones. Yes. And after I would suggest you a pasta. So the pasta would be like a pasta salmone. I really like, because I'm a fish person. So I will go with...
Which is a fantastic pasta.
A pasta salmone, yes. Or you can also do the shrimp one. But I would suggest that one because Americans, they like the creamy stuff.
Yep.
And pasta salmone is one of the dishes where we put the cream because we don't use a lot of cream like here, but there are some dishes that we put cream.
Yep.
Yes. And after that one, I would suggest like a salmon how you say it? We would say agiotta. Agiotta is cooked like in a pot, with cherry tomato, with different, and that's going to be one in our menu. In the new menu is going to be that. So I would suggest you these things, and of course the wine. I would suggest you Nero d'Avola. Yeah, that one is from Sicily, so I'm a fan of that. And you will finish. I don't have fruit, so I can't do that one because we tried to do the Macedonia, but it did not work well. Yeah, the Macedonia is a salad of fruit.
Yep. It's a fruit salad.
I don't know if you ever tried it when you were in Sicily, but
because it's like little chunks of oranges and like blood oranges.
Yes, you put whatever fruit,
cubed fruit.
Okay,
whatever fruit you have, you put it together, and I would do like
fruit doesn't sit well. That's the once you cut it up for a little bit, and it just doesn't.
No, that one you need to eat it. No,
fresh.
You can't save it for. Yes, but for us, it's something like for parties or weddings, or it's something that it's in our tradition to do the Macedonia. Yes, and the dessert. A beautiful bianco e nero. It's the topic tradition Sicilian, the bianco e nero. Of course, we have the cannolo. Everybody knows the cannolo. Bianco e nero is something that you need to explain to people. So I will tell them how we make it, with what is made it, whether from Nutella, from the cream, how we put it together. Because I think people, if you explain each dish, they will understand better.
Yep. And
this is another part that frustrated me a lot, is because like servers that we have, cashiers or, runners, whatever, they don't know a lot about the food. So sometimes they don't know even how to sell it, how to, and that's because you need experience in that.
Of course.
It takes time.
Of course.
It takes time.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you.
Is there any insightful things that you can say to somebody that wants to open a restaurant in this marketplace?
Well, I would say, one, make sure that you are really, that is something you really want to do, because
it's hard.
It is a lifestyle. When you open a restaurant, it's your life. You live around the restaurant. You live in the restaurant.
Yep.
And on the finances side, a lot of banks, it's a risky.
Oh, it's very risky
endeavor for them.
Because what is it? 60% of restaurants close within 5 years.
Yeah. So it's a risky endeavor for them. So you're going to have to get creative on how you find the financing just to do the restaurant. If you have 401k, how are you going to try to access that money? If you have an IRA, are you willing to put your own retirement into what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
Because you're not going to be able to go to a bank and get a loan to open a restaurant. It's not going to happen. Nobody's going to give you money until you've proven
yourself
that you can run a restaurant.
Yep.
And just saying that you worked as an executive chef or a head chef at
doesn't mean you're an operator.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't mean that anybody's going to be willing to commit their money to you. So there's the SBA programs, but those, a lot of times you hear people talk about an SBA program and how you can go get money. You can. It's not easy.
It's not
easy. And it takes time. It is way more difficult than most people who are trying to sell some service make it sound.
Yeah.
And then you owe the government money.
And then and then you're indebted to the government. But getting just the finances together, that's one of the reasons why we chose to do a food truck and we chose to do this little teeny commissary, was we didn't have the finances to go to a fancy place.
Of course.
We did it pretty much all ourselves. We found people who are willing to work with us on the pricing. We couldn't go with some of these big fancy general contractors.
Remember that I bought a lot of stuff on auctions.
Yeah, of course.
For one of the things that did benefit us, and it's kind of sad, but the collapse of the restaurant industry around COVID time put a lot of used equipment out there.
Yeah.
And without that, I don't think we actually could have financially done it. I mean, we were able to build out a restaurant with all the equipment for like $150,000.
That's not bad, because I just talked to 2 operators in the last week. Their build out was $1.4 million.
Yeah.
for a build out.
And the most thing, it was the oven for us.
It was the pizza oven.
The pizza oven.
The hood, which normally would be really expensive.
Yep.
We bought that from a restaurant that closed out. I rented a trailer.
And you picked it up.
And drove it over there. And then we
honestly, 150 for a build out is not bad at all.
I have to say,
there was a restaurant downtown. They literally survived for a year. Their build out was $9 million.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
What do you buy for $9 million?
That is so.
I don't know. I think that a lot help us. Also, I think is the mind for me growing in Sicily. We are poor.
Yeah.
And you have to make whatever you can with that little money that you have.
Yep.
And I learned this because my life, it wasn't easy in these years. You know, I told you a nice story, but there is a lot of things behind it. So I think the way that I think, how I use the money, how, before I buy something, I'm still in the Sicilian mind. That's why I went on the auctions. I tried to get the best thing. I need to see. And I think that helped us a lot to save a lot of money. Mm-hmm. Even in my food cost, even, the food. I always have that mind thinking. So that helps me to teach all of them how to use the stuff. And, I will go around and say, okay, this one has to be 150 grams. I don't want 180. I don't want 150. So even having that experience, how to manage the food, how to manage all that. Now, I was a little lacking in how to manage employees, and I'm learning that because I've always been in the kitchen. I've never been in the business. I've always been in the kitchen, but I think that helped us a lot to save money. Yeah.
Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on to the Explore Nash podcast.
Thank you.
Where can people follow you on social media? It's just Tutti Da
Gio on Facebook, on Instagram, and TikTok too. Yeah,
we're on Instagram. But if you want to know like what our hours are,
the website,
how things are changing, the website or Facebook. Facebook is probably the first.
Please
place
don't go on Google because we're having problems with Google.
We were talking about that last week. Everyone has problems.
It's still problems.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.